Welcome back again. We're now going to do the creativity segment. You know, I've spent many years trying to find what would stimulate creativity. I read books on the subject, several. I bought these silly playing cards and little toy games, all these things. Found that nothing was of any use whatever until I read a book by Robert Fritz that I didn't like very much except for this one point. The key to creativity is addressing the unpleasant reality. So think about it. How many problems we could solve today if we could just get clear on agreeing what the reality was, whether it's global climate change or economic problems. This is really the deal. What we're about here is we've already looked before at your elephants. That's going to be your realities. We're going to look at the second part of it, which is the mindset of 100% commitment. And that will take us into a place of magically having solutions appear. Our two behaviors, the one we sort of worked on earlier and still yet to complete, and then the commitment piece. Really interesting what's happened when people have been committed to something. The Wright brothers flew the first powered flight in 1903 using bicycle technology when many government-funded entities had not done nearly so well. And a vision of what could be done with flight takes us to an airplane today. I used the 380, for example. You can fly about 600 to 800 people, 8,000 kilometers at 85% the speed of sound. And in enormous comfort. Unbelievable. Then, not my favorite thing, but I think that the power of the commitment's really interesting. Sam Walton said, I just want to make my little Newport store the best, most profitable variety store in Arkansas within 5 years. And what this became, extending his commitment by others, and including his family who still owned the business. The world's largest retailer with 8,000 stores, 2 million employees in 15 countries. How about Martin Luther King? I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. Of course, he got assassinated for this. But what did it lead to? A commitment to racial equality. Barack Obama, twice elected president of the United States. John Kennedy put a man on the moon and returned to Earth within the decade. Sure enough, Apollo 11 landed on the moon in 1969 and then brought everyone home safely. So this is where we have some fun. We showed this video clip. This is from City Slickers. And this is Curly, and he tells Mitch, if you could just, and you have to watch the video clip, of course, that there's just one thing that matters. And I let the video clip play. And then put this up. If I could tell you one thing that would make you and your team successful, it would be this. Find the outcomes you're committed to realizing and focus accordingly. Listen to this. I know this now. Every man gives his life for what he is committed to. Every woman gives her life to what she is committed to. Sometimes people are committed to little or nothing, and so they give their lives to little or nothing. One life is all we have, and we live it as we are committed to living it, and then it's gone. But to surrender who you are and live without commitment is more terrible than dying, even more terrible than dying young. So when I had to write the proposal to get first agent and then a publisher for my book, How NASA Builds Teams, for the first time I had to sit down and kind of write down the best version of what I had accomplished. I haven't had to apply for a job in many, many years. And when I did it, I was amazed. And so a person that I consider myself quite ordinary from sort of a middle-class family with lots of problems in it, how did I accomplish so much? And the secret to every piece of it was somehow I managed to always connect to purpose, which is another piece around commitment. So we're going to look at two mindsets. The mindset of 100% committed and as one of my friends involved in a relationship calls it, both feet in. You begin by, first you find the unpleasant realities, you address them. You run only green storylines, some versions of whatever it takes, for example. And use the power of emotions to energize people, glad, mad, sad, scared, and in love, as powerfully as you can bring them to bear. Less than 100% is 1 foot in, more likely something like unbridled optimism. Red storylines are okay, some version of I'll try. And emotions are ignored. And some of you may know the great Star Trek figure, Mr. Spock, who had no emotions whatever. That's the first start of our introduction into creativity, and I'll be back with you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.